The purpose of tonight is to talk about real estate in the metaverse. So here, what you see is the Sandbox map, and you see all the land here are NFTs. So when you buy one land here, so you can buy with people like Remy, or you can go on OpenSea. You can then build your own experience. So Metaverse Studio is one of the studio in Paris that can create a complete experience. So what is an experience? It can be a game. For me, it's more like a new version of the internet. It's like a more immersive version of the internet. It's the 3D internet. This is what I think is the metaverse. So maybe we can go on the next slide just to see. Yeah, here it's the location of one of our land. So we bought this land and we developed a game on this. That is the presentation of our activities in the interactive studio. Yeah. Here, it's important to understand that when you buy a land, you buy a certain surface where you can build, like in the real world. If you buy a land or I don't know the name in land or parcel where you can build maybe your house or a building or a shop. This is something comparable to real life. So what you see here, I don't know if I can move, or I don't know if you see this. Yeah? You understand that you have 96 meters square here to build something, but you have something like 128 meters high. So it means that when brands come to us, we optimize the use of the space to build and to use the maximum. So it means that you can buy more spaces and construct more spaces, but you can start to build something super big already on one parcel. So it means that your invest at the beginning can be started with something not so huge, because there is some brands who they bought maybe 6 by 6 or I think 9 by 9, yeah?
3 by 3, 6 by 6.
Yeah, yeah. So I personally bought 1 by 1, but we have one experience, it's 2 by 2, and one other is 1 by 2. Yeah. So here you can see the scale. That is really important to understand what you buy and where you can construct. So you understand that one voxel, that is a cube like this, the voxel is the unit of construction of the 3D models in the sandbox. So I wanted to bring you some caps that you can compare to real life real estate, like office, building, shop, mall. Yeah, we can go to the next. Yeah, here it's a fantasy building for AXA. That is a pyramid. And in the next slide, Adam, yeah, you can see from the up, and you see that the pyramid is like 5 levels, and all the games is inside this pyramid. We can go on the next. Yeah, here is the reproduction of the Arc de Triomphe. That is my favorite monument, and it's just 100 meters from the office. So all the clients from abroad, they come to visit us, we take them there. And so we wanted to reproduce this piece of art in real size. So to be the good scale, we needed to have a 2 by 2 land. So it means if you need a big building, you need to have more space. So you need to buy more to Remy. Yeah. So here you are inside the Arc de Triomphe. Maybe someone knows this place. There is a museum inside. So we can, welcome, bienvenue. So we can have an exposition inside. And maybe the next, yeah, Next slide. So this is Love in Paris. It's one of the world we created. So this is not for clients. It's a game, maybe we developed it in 8 months. It's a reproduction at the beginning of the office. Yeah. And what is close to the office and all the cliché of Paris. So you have the metro, you have the Colonne Maurice, you have, I think in the next slide we have a boulangerie, and all these little, and you have ledger, look, yeah, you have the ledger, it's a billboard with Sébastien Bourget here, in the voxel version. So all these little stores now, we rent it or we sell it to clients. It means that we have a story in the game that make people discover Paris and all the small things in Paris, like the kindness of the Parisian, like La Baguette or Jean Gabin or Dalida or something like that. And we start to sell some spaces, mainly to Chinese and American people, brands, to be in what we call the open world of Love in Paris. It means that if you play the game, you don't have it's not necessary to visit them, but if you want to have a balade in the city, you can enter their gallery or the store and discover brands. Yes, Adam, please. Yeah, so this is a reproduction of Haussmannian apartment in Boxel. So this is where the game starts. We recreate, here you see we use the maximum of the parcel because there is like 5 levels and all the cube is used. And we have 2 ways to finish each level. It means that we have 2 by 2, something like 36 possibilities. So you can come and play 36 times and play a different story. And here, to finish, we have made a mall. So still in the real estate state of mind, we are in partnership with a French company that sell spaces in Paris. And we made a virtual mall that we cut in small, there is like something like 30 zones that can be rent by months and be arranged. So so this is a kind of little shop, under our shop with Dwayne Johnson. And here, you go fast, but it's good. We recreated in the action zone, it's a cinema zone, where we have Lion Gates or a studio like that. They just bring a new district in the Sandbox, and we recreated a cinema. And why we did all that is because we wanted, like in the past, like in the Web 2, we wanted to be able to help people to join in their vertical. I mean, we have something cultural like Love in Paris. We have a cinema, we can bring a lot of brands inside. In the mall, we can bring... It means that if a brand doesn't want, or don't have the budget to make a complex experience from scratch with 7 people working like 6 months on their project, they can join an experience that is existing and it's less money. It's good to start and to have characters or avatars to make their brain start in the metaverse of Sandbox. And maybe, so it's inside the... Because in few months we will be able to have movies inside. Actually it's possible, but it's reserved to some brands. But we can have movies inside a Sandbox experience. So I think to have a cinema in the metaverse, it's amazing to show, to make a, like by example for Netflix or for, I don't know which studio, to I don't remember, how do you say that in English? Trailer. Yeah, to show a trailer, to make the promotion of a new movie. Maybe yeah. And we created a casino too. We have a story like because we believe that in a near future, Las Vegas brands or Macau brands they will want to enter that metaverse and will be ready to accept them with a lot of assets that we already own and already can show. Maybe you can see that. You see, we have recreated all what you have inside the casino. So actually, we can take any brands in Sandbox super easily with Metaverse Studio. I think this is what I wanted to tell you tonight. Yeah, that is the last.
NFTs and the Sandbox Game. So we're happy today to have 3 experts on the Metaverse universe. So can you please introduce yourselves?
Hey, my name is Mo. I have community and education at Ledger. I don't know if some of you guys might be familiar with Ledger. Raise your hand if you know what Ledger is. Okay, cool. So we basically create solutions for people to be able to own and secure their digital assets. So that is mainly for individuals, but also for enterprises. And the whole Ledger ecosystem is based around the fact that as an individual, you should be able to own digital things without having to rely on a third party. So digital things, it can be value, Bitcoin, Ethereum, other cryptocurrencies. It could also be NFTs. It's also your identity, or you have access to the land on the sandbox, ability to build experiences there, etc. So yeah, I mean, we've definitely been exploring the different opportunities within the space that would enable us to create stories, build relationships with communities, and launch initiatives, and the Metaverse is one of them, because it enables
collision of worlds. So that's basically how I perceive the concept. It's how you create one area where you can roam around, playing and mixing every concept between each other. So, playing with a Smurf on a Walking Dead land, fighting zombies with a weapon coming from I don't know where. But basically mixing IPs, mixing worlds, that will create any experience it could be. And so it relates to your point. When you ask me what can be done, do we want to replicate the real world? I would say it's more about you can replicate the real world, but is it the best use of it? Like, replicating a museum, to me, it's not optimizing Sandbox as well. And also, when we talk about the Metaverse, there are a lot of different softwares, being metaverses. We are all doing things differently. So probably that Decentraland, Meta, Fortnite, Sandbox will be optimized for certain usage. So I would recommend you to have probably a 360 approach, but on different metaverses, so you can cover and optimize your approach on the strength of each of them. So for example, for us, it's about Web3, it's about gaming. So I would say that if you just do a passive museum experience, you probably can do something very similar in Decentraland or elsewhere, which means that you're probably missing something. And how could you maybe modify, tweak a bit every bit of each experience to make it very custom to each of them?
Okay, that is very clear. So, Mo, maybe I have another question for you because it was really complete. I would like to know what are the reasons why one would like to buy a land in a metaverse? I mean, is there a real value in it?
That's a good question. And it actually will get me to kind of riff a little bit on your initial question, which is about, are we, actually trying to replicate the real world or not? Like, even the concept of a land, what is a land in the digital world? Why is it 2x2, 3x3, 4x4? It's an interesting piece. Like, I think skeuomorphism, who knows what skeuomorphism is? It's basically when you design something in the digital world, but you take characteristics from the physical world to describe it so that people can understand it. Why is your calculator on your iPhone look like a calculator? It could have looked like anything else. Like, the form factor of a calculator doesn't need to exist in that digital screen the way